Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss a topic called Torsades depointus. So I will try to discuss this topic in 5 minutes. I hope you will understand. Um, Please subscribe to my channel if you like it. I will try to be little faster. So please concentrate for just 5 minutes. I hope I'll make everything clear. So coming to Torsades depointus, it is nothing but an arrhythmic event which can be fatal, which is also called as polymorphic VT. So how do we explain? So let me start from the basic. So this is the heart muscle, and you have the conduction system of the heart. It's the SA node, AV node, his bundle, and the Purkinje system. So whenever there is an impulse, what happens is there is generation of action potential. The action potential will have two components: depolarization and repolarization. When a cell depolarizes, it leads to contraction. When the repolarization, it relaxes. So how does depolarization and repolarization happen? Just happens because of transfer of ions, positive charge and negative charge, thereby leading to something called as I or current. You have to remember that the SA node action potential versus Purkinje system or cardiac myocyte action potential are slightly different, because SA node is a trigger, so it has a different action potential. Okay, so let me come back to the action potential curve. So this is the action potential curve which you can see. So in this there are totally, you can see, there are 4 phases: 4, 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. The first phase, this is repolarization, this is depolarization, this is again repolarization, this is early, this is rapid and delayed. So what happens here, I will tell you in brief the ions which get transferred during each phase. In phase 4, it is potassium which goes out to maintain the resting membrane potential. When sodium starts entering into the cell, then it rapidly depolarizes, which is called as 0 phase. After 0, there is a 1 phase where there is slight dip, wherein the potassium and chloride cells, ions, come out. After that, there is a phase 2, which is a plateau phase, where potassium keeps coming out while the calcium goes inside. So the positive charge inside, the positive charge outside leads to a plateau phase called as phase 2. In phase 3, the calcium doesn't enter anymore and only potassium starts coming out. This is a rapid depolarization phase. There are 2 currents which you have to remember. First is IKS, K denotes potassium, S denotes slow, while R denotes rapid. This is IKR. The phase 4 is again controlled by potassium, IKI channel. If you see the SA node action potential, you can see that phase 4, 0 and 3 are only present, while 0 and 2 are not present. So you know this action potential is everything in current wise, or it is a more of a physiology. Now how does it translate into the ECG? So we already know that in 0 is predominantly depolarization phase followed by repolarization. We have remembered in physiology that The first phase is called absolute refractory period. The second is relative refractory period. That means if any impulse comes and hits at this part, there would not be any response. But if an impulse hits at phase 3, there can be some amount of action potential which can be generated. This is very important to remember. So, again, going back, you see that in phase 3, you have a potassium channel which is pumping potassium out of the cell to reach back to its normalcy. If you block that channel, what happens? There will be a delay in phase 3. So overall, you can see the action potential duration starts increasing. How does it translate in the ECG? It is by QT prolongation. So what happens during QT prolongation or when the action potential duration increases? There is one channel, that is calcium, which starts opening and the calcium starts coming inside, and this will lead to what is called as early after depolarization, which comes something like that. When the early after depolarization reaches a particular threshold, then it's just like an impulse can produce a contraction. So there's a concept called R on T phenomena. That means if something impulse comes and hits phase 3, it can produce something called as arrhythmia, which is also called polymorphic ventricular tachycardia. Okay, so this is how, and this is also called as Torsades de pointes. Thank you for listening. I will update a second part on the ECG findings and treatment. Let me know in the comment section how you liked it so that I can improve in this. Thank you.